Rochelle, and as you can see in the description below, I will be talking about my journey, how I migrated to Canada as a international student. If this is something that you're interested in, please watch the entire video, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below. So let's get into it. So before we actually start the video, I'll be talking based off my own personal experience. Yes, my own personal experience, because I know everyone's journey is different. So let's get into this video. So how did I migrate? So I actually migrated as an international student. And how did I went about this process? So for me, I knew that I wanted to migrate. I spoke to my mom about this and she supported my decision. And my aunt recommended this immigration consultant that was based in Kingston. You don't have to use a immigration consultant. For me, I used one because I didn't know what to do. I had no clue what I was getting myself into. I just know that I wanted to move, and I thought at the time using an immigration consultant was the best decision for me. So I used one. You don't have to use one, as I mentioned, because all the information that you need for your application or just to go about the process is on the IRCC website. They're like, the information that the government of Canada share is top tier. Like, anything you need to know, any program that you want to migrate under is there. If you want to migrate as a student, if you want to do express entry, if you want to move as a caregiver, anything you want to do, if you want like a visa, anything you want to do, it's there. So I'll be linking the IRCC website below. And if you're not sure what is IRCC is Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship of Canada. That's the name of their website. So let's get into it. As I mentioned, I did use a immigration consultant. So I met with my immigration consultant. I expressed interest that I want to move to Canada, and the best route for me is moving as a student. So he provided me with a list of schools that he's affiliated with, and I also told him the program that I was interested in studying. So he provided me with a list of schools that he's affiliated with, and we went with Centennial College. That's a popular college that is based in Toronto. So I got all my documents and applied for school. So after I applied for school, then like I think 3 weeks later, I got my acceptance letter that I have been accepted into college. So what in your acceptance package, they will list all the information that you need. So they'll tell you how much the tuition will be for the duration, how much your books will cost, how much they think living expense will cost, and stuff like that. Also, the college did require me to pay a deposit on my tuition, which was 2,500. Yes. So for that, I think they required a deposit on the tuition because it's a program that fills up quickly. And again, Canada takes in like millions of students on a yearly basis that are international students. So I think that's the college way of telling me like, hey, we have an influx of students coming in, and in order to guarantee your spot in your program, you're required to pay a deposit. I am not sure if you have to, but based off my own personal experience, I did. My friends that were international students, they did pay a down payment of 2,500 on their tuition. So I did pay the deposit on my tuition, and this also helps you. It also gives you an advantage at the embassy because this shows the embassy that you are serious. You actually want to move. You actually want to migrate as a student, and you do have the funds to pay your tuition. So yes, so in the package it gave like all the information, how much my tuition will cost for the 4 semesters. And my tuition was for the 4 semesters it's a lot. I paid $30,000 in total for my tuition. That's how much it costs to study. And this is like from 2015, 2016, because I started my process in 2015 and I moved to Canada 2016 of January. So January 2016, that's when I moved. So that's how much it cost. So I think I missed out something. Make sure that when you are choosing a school to study, you're looking for a designated learning institution. And what I mean by that, so there's a list of schools. You can apply to any college in Canada, but what you're looking for is a public funded college that is on the IRCC website, which you will be eligible for a postgrad work permit after your studies. Because at the end of the day, I do understand private colleges are a little bit cheaper compared to public funded colleges, but it doesn't make sense you waste your money and then when you finish, you're not eligible for a work permit. So I would recommend going to a institution where you'll be eligible to apply for your postgrad work permit. So your postgrad work permit is an open work permit that only international students are eligible for, and this allows you to work anywhere in Canada for the duration. And also make sure that when you're choosing your program, I would recommend anyone make sure that you're choosing a program that is minimum 4 semesters. And the reason why I say minimum 4 semesters is that you're eligible for a 3 years work permit. Because if you do a program that is, let's say you did 2 semesters, which is like a one full school year, you're only getting a 1 year work permit. And that doesn't give you a lot of time to get things done in order to get your PR. So for anyone who is out there and you want to migrate as a student, please make sure that you're doing a program that is minimum 4 semesters or 2 years, which you will be eligible to apply for an open work permit after you complete your studies. So yes, I think I strayed away. So after I got my acceptance letter, I mentioned that I did pay $2,500 deposit on my tuition. The next step would be getting all my supporting documents to apply for my study visa. So I don't remember everything that I had to get, but I remember I had to do a police clearance or a police record. That is extremely important. If you have traveled to any other country or if you had a visa, you had to get those. I had to get like my travel history to where I've traveled before, and I had to make sure, and then my finances. Finances is extremely important when you are applying for a study permit. For me personally, I don't got no money. I had no money. Because as I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned my age. I was like 19, 20 when I was applying. When I started my process to come to Canada, I didn't have any money. And as I mentioned, I did talk to my parents about this, and they fully supported the decision. So I used my mom bank statement or her financial statement. So my mom had to write a letter, and in her letter, she expressed that, hey, I will be financially responsible. So you need a co-sponsor if you don't have enough funds. For me, my mom was my co-sponsor. So she also had to, so my mom provided her bank statement and also had to write a letter. So in her letter, she wrote that I'll be financially responsible for Rochelle for the duration of her stay. So I'll be taking care of her tuition, her living expense, books, just everything in general that I need to survive in Canada. She had to write that in the letter that she will be financially responsible for me. But I won't be getting into finances because I think that's like a whole nother conversation as it relates to how much you actually need to migrate to Canada. So yes, so after I got all my supporting documents, then we submitted my application to the embassy, and it took roughly around, I think, was it 4 weeks to process? So processing time at that time is 4 to 6 weeks processing time. So for me, I got my visa, I think like the third week in December, and I started school in January. So after I got my visa, I paid the rest of my tuition. And for me, I paid my first 2 semesters, which is a full school year. And then I migrated to Canada. I've been living here 7 years now. I'm actually now a permanent resident. So again, if anyone out there, if you are interested in migrating to Canada, I would say go for it. It's one of those long-term investment. Like, look at it as a long-term investment. So if you're interested, I would say go for it. If you are looking to migrate to Canada, it doesn't have to be as a student. As I mentioned, there are so many different routes you can take. For me, I migrated as a student because that's what worked for me. So that's how I went about doing my process and everything. And tips that I would share for anyone, if you're looking to migrate, I would say go for it. Please make sure that you come with a open mind. And when I say come with an open mind, if you're coming from, let's say you're coming from Jamaica and you had like a professional job, let's say you were a teacher or a nurse, when you come here, no one cares what you were doing back home. No one cares. So that's why I say come with a open mind, because the moment you come, time starts going. So again, yes, so that is my journey, how I went about doing it. Again, as I mentioned, I will be linking the IRCC website for anyone who is out there who is interested in migrating, so you can read up. Also, please make sure that you do your own research. Do as much research as possible and try to figure out what works best for you, and just go for it. Do it. If there's anything as it relates to Canada, migrating to Canada, how I went about getting my PR, please comment in the comment section and I'll do a video about that. So yeah, so that is my journey, how I went about my process, how I migrated. And again, yeah, so thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share. If you know anybody out there who is interested in migrating, please share my video with them. And again, thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.